Hello, everyone. Ted Clayton here. Social media is not unhealthy. Now, this is the premise of this video. However, it comes on the heels of what's been going on between Kanye West and his wife Kim Kardashian in regards to their daughter Northwest being on social media. This has been going on for some time. They've been going back and forth, but it just came to the surface after the TikTok of Kim, Northwest, and Willow uh, performing emo girl on TikTok. And I think what really is the catalyst is when you have someone like Willow join in on this TikTok. That kind of now brings more attention to this. Not only the topic, but just is getting more views. So sort of like a cosign, maybe. So that's that. And just a very quick side note. These song "Emo Girl," I'm not that big of a fan of it. I actually didn't like it. It's all right, but that's not to say that I don't like Willow and MGK. Willow and Jaden, I don't think people take them serious as an artist. Willow's last album, I actually enjoyed, and I think people should take seriously, or at least take note that Travis Barker was involved. Maybe she paid him, but maybe there was some genuine chemistry. And I know someone that was involved in the project. That gave me more of a incentive to listen to it, and I actually liked some of the songs. And MGK, I'm finally glad that he's found a lane for himself. He's been kind of in limbo for almost a decade now. Don't know what the deal with that was, and some of his songs are pretty good. I actually like what he's doing. The grunge thing, it's all right. But I just didn't like that song. That's that. So that's just my side note. But all that to say, what I find interesting about this whole matter is everyone says that social media is toxic, but is okay with Northwest being on there. Now, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm going to break it down a little more. Just another side note. For all the people with short attention spans, I love you guys. Nothing but love. But this is probably one of the most irritating demographics. Yes, I do try to check out the statistics and I try to follow them. It is important to be concise, and I think I do that just naturally. But it makes me now, seeing the numbers, it's seeing the average time that people watch a video, it does make me focus more on storytelling or delivery. The problem is, I feel that what I have to say gets lost, or no one's watching it just because it's too long. Now, I'll try to keep the point in the beginning, and again, be as concise as possible, but at the same time, they're not really seeing the whole, my whole presentation. So that's that. But again, I think it is good because it does kind of make you not go off the rails per se. So that's just my 2 cents on that. The only thing I can really say, what I do, because I'm one of those people, I don't have short attention spans. I'm a person that doesn't have a lot of time. So what I do is I speed up a video. 2x by default, unless someone has a strong accent and talks really fast naturally. So that's that. So that's that. And again, I'm saying that in jest, but just throwing that out there just as a side note. Okay, so I wanted to break down, and that statement right there is pretty self-explanatory. People can make sense out of that. So I wanted to break down this whole social media thing, use this whole thing as a catalyst. So first off is the whole issue with Northwest, a young lady. She's 8 years old now, right? Adolescent, being on social media. Now, all one has to do, I have my laptop right here. All one has to do is, and yeah, I have Twitter right behind me. This display right here, this column right here, that's all Kanye West. This section right here, that is topics that Twitter thinks that will interest me, and then it ranks them and Kanye, the most popular topics, and then it breaks it down into my interests and then ranks them. So Kanye West is in that ranking, and this is the Kanye West column right here. So that's that. Okay, so just a side note. So all one has to do is look on Google, and with topics like this, people are talking about censorship and things like that. But then when it's on a trusted source, I think that now gives it more gravitas. It puts a little more weight into my argument, into any argument. So all one has to do is to go on Google, just type teen girls social media, and you see all these scientific studies on how social media is harmful, or has the effects it's been having on young women, on young ladies, little girls, teen girls. And I mean, just look at all these. This is just what I'm seeing right now. The first thing, let's see, The Atlantic. Let's see, what else? The New Yorker, The Guardian. Let's see, The Guardian. Facebook aware of Instagram's harmful effect on teenage girls. Wall Street Journal. Facebook knows Instagram is toxic for teen girls. What else? I seen another one. New York Times, teenage. These are just the headlines. I'm not even going into the article. And one, I don't want to waste my my credits because I don't have an account with all these with some of these newspapers. New York Times, and this is all Google. Again, just teen girls social media. Teenage girls say Instagram's mental health impact are no surprise. So, this is backed up by science, and this is a credible source per se. So that's that. And this is not to make any kind of implication on Google, Facebook, or Instagram, but this is just what's right there. This is what the established sources, what they are putting, what they're finding, and what's available. So that's that. And the thing with this, where it ultimately gets to, is children being used as pawns, and also people being double-minded, where we want to protect. Social media is bad, and we want to protect women, right? We want to protect women, but screw Kanye West by any means, and even if it costs someone their mental health. Okay, so that's that. Just Google that. But what I want to do now is focus on the social media aspect of this whole thing. And I think the easiest way that I can do this is to, and this all happened at the same time, it is share a conversation that I just had on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm going to just go through the entire conversation, just bit by bit, and that will lay everything out, just where my stance and the counter arguments that people will make, and then again, what my response is to it. And it just breaks down everything. And what this had to do with, I don't want to share what video this came from, because I don't want to draw attention to that. But it came from someone who said that they wanted to excuse themselves from social media because they said it was unhealthy. And I was upset about this because this person, I felt, was doing a public service, because they were sharing their opinions on current events, and they had a lot of insightful information, but they felt that social media was toxic. And they were one of the few people that was really brave enough and really was able to break down a lot of things. So they said, not only did they say that they wanted to stop making content, they may come back, but they're still making a statement. Stop making content, but they wanted to delete all their videos. And as far as any kind of wrong thing per se, unpopular topics, and for me, I'm thinking, well, why do you have to erase the material? I mean, maybe even make it private so you have it, but that's that, right? Now, okay. All right, so let's go to this conversation. Let me just pull this up. Just bear with me. Okay, so it's a few people that are involved in this dialogue, but it really just trims down, reduces down to just me and one other person. And this was perfect. And it was interesting because this all came at the same time. So that is what made me want to share my thoughts on this. Okay, so just 1 second. I don't know, what is this with YouTube, excuse me, where I don't get all of the notifications when people respond to me or like my comments? I don't know. It's kind of discouraging because I would say something, I think I'll be thoughtful on something, and it is kind of discouraging. But then I see it's just a game, or maybe just, even though they're $1 billion company, they just can't fix that aspect of their website. So, I mean, and when I say thought out, I don't necessarily mean that it's long. It would just be that I will try to articulate what I say as effectively as possible, short or long. So I try to share my thoughts, and it's like, okay, like no one responded to this, and then sometimes I'll go back and it's like, oh, like 100 people seen it, or maybe 2, but then it's like, but I didn't know, and I couldn't engage in the argument, and that's also could be time wasted. So then I have to, you kind of miss that momentum, so then I have to go back and manually find it. So that's that. And then in this case, and I know I'm going off a little bit on a tangent, but this needs to be noticed too, like everything's screwed up. With this, I had another comment on that video, so I have to, on the notification tab or whatever, I have to click on that, then click on the other comment, then search through all the comments to get to the conversation that I'm talking about. So it's all just wacky. So, okay, I finally found it. All right, so it starts with one person, and they don't get into the dialogue. One person says, please, in capital letters, please, before you go, tell us why you're leaving, because the person never says why they're leaving. Let me do a time check. Okay, all right, so 1 second. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Did someone erase their comments? I'm just going back. I think someone erased their comments. I took a screenshot, but I think someone erased their comments. No. 1 second, just bear with me. I can't find the rest of the comments here. Okay, this is frustrating. Why can't I find this comment? Okay, let me go to, bear with me, this is just funky. And I'm focusing on the video, but then I'm also this is just wasting time. And now this is kind of boils down to, this really is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, where it's people that are toxic, not social media. So let's see, now I have to go back to okay, let me just start with what I saved, the screenshot that I saved, because I wanted to share this on Facebook also. Okay, so someone first writes, let's see, 1 second, just bear with me. Okay, so the first person writes, who appear to have deleted their comments. They say TLDR. I still don't know what that means. Too long something. I forgot what that meant, but it's TLDR. YouTube is unhealthy, and he doesn't need to rely on new clickbait to have a good life. That was the first response. The next thing, then I reply to that person and I say, no, it's not. It's all about how we engage with social media. We created a tool that allows us to connect with the entire world for free. Now people are deciding to stop using it. Okay, then someone else comes in. They say he probably realized he wasn't making enough money from the snark to justify the mental stress of concerning himself with those topics, and possibly of people hating on him for some of his opinions. I didn't respond to that. Sometimes you don't want to respond to each and everything, because I would have just said cope, but you don't want to respond to each and everything, because then it never stops. So some people, you just gotta let them go. Live to see another day, right? So then I respond to, let's see. Okay, so the first person, they respond back and they say, this is not an argument I'm interested in having. Someone else follows up, and then they say, now this is a person I continue a dialogue with. So it's not going to be too much following after this. Okay, so the second person comes in and they say, that's a nice perspective in theory, Ted. Now, they're saying my name because I'm using my name as you can see. And for those who don't know, well, this is going on YouTube, so I'm not sharing this anywhere else, but if you just see this video randomly, I use my name, my government name, in pretty much all my social media accounts. Okay, so they use my name. That's a nice perspective in theory, Ted, but unfortunately, in the real world, social media has become so toxic, it's better to check out while you still have your sanity intact. So to the first person, I say, it doesn't have to be an argument. Remember, their response was, this is not an argument I'm interested in having. And that's what I replied with. They never came back. And the second person, who I continued the dialogue with, I say, is social media toxic or people? Okay, so I think I can just follow along with the notifications tab right here. Okay, so, all right, this is the rest of the conversation. So then that person, again, it's just me and this other person, this other individual. So this person says, it's like saying guns dangerous or people, guns are dangerous or people. You can't have one without the other. I think it's a combination of the two things. Social media tracks you, collects data, and, so hold on, one second. So let me just back up. When this person first wrote this, they only wrote the first portion, just that's like saying, are guns dangerous or people? And then they came back and edited. So let me skip ahead and respond to what was first written. So I say, and it was interesting because out of all this time that I've been hearing social media is toxic, this is the first time that it dawned on me, this is just like the gun control argument. And I said, wait a minute, because I'm one of those people that prescribes to the guns don't kill people, people kill people. Okay, so I said, people make decisions, take action, not guns. So, okay, now we're going to come back to the edit in 1 second. Then the person replies back, the quote-unquote, can't we all be friends is nice in theory, but it doesn't work in reality. I respond back with, no, we can't all be friends. That's correct. But we can certainly respect each other. Okay. So then it kind of goes silent for a little while. And I wanted to see, I had gotten a like, and then I didn't see the notification. I just went back and I got a like. But then I went back, I saw the like. And then for some reason, I just decided to look through the comments again. And then I saw the guy edited. So let me go back to now that response and then continue. So the person says again, that's like saying, are guns, again, people not doing, they're not doing spell check. That's like saying, are guns dangerous or people? You can't have one without the other. And then they continue. This is the edit. It's a combination of the two things. Social media tracks you, collects data, and targets users with information that would be regarded as triggering or polarizing. Now, we've heard about this, these experiments, but I'm going to get to that in 1 second. There are so many unhappy people in the world that it's a place to vent anger anonymously, which I think may prove my point, but I digress. Unless you want to give up your right to be anonymous online, I don't see things changing anytime soon. So I reply, as per edited response, again, it's people and I put bracket just for emphasis, it's people that are data mining and created the algorithm. One can say that these tools lend themselves to what we're seeing, but in the end, who's in the quote unquote driver's seat? All right, then the person responds, well, it's called quote unquote social media, Ted. Without the social aspect part of it, you are essentially just talking to yourself. If you've got the answer to the problem, by all means, put it into action, LOL. But it seems you just have a very simplistic outlook to a very, TOO, a very complex problem. Again, guys, just get Grammarly for free. I'm not trying to, use that. I don't want to do that to try to paint someone in a certain way. I mean, it's funny to do that, but guys, just get Grammarly. Get the basic edition at the basic version. It's free. So what I say was, as the old saying goes, less is more. Also, calling someone by their name that's a stranger is poor etiquette, bracket, parentheses, to say the least. And, dare I say, ... toxic. And that was the end of the conversation. So, I think that speaks for itself right there, where it's not social media. And again, the thing that I emphasize is, and you have to look at it from my point of view, anyone seeing this, and I think it's probably going to resonate with millennials, early millennials, Gen Xers, and boomers, where we finally created a tool to connect with people around the world for free. Now, yes, this information is data mined. These algorithms are created, but how are the bills going to be paid? So my strategy for that is just control what you share, that's all. But engage, by all means engage. But now I started to see, finally, it took me a while, and I'm surprised it did, but to make that connection, oh, I see what's going on. Now people want to use the gun control argument. Oh, I see what's going on, to then try to stifle information or to give an excuse to not engage on social media. But that's not going to fly with me. But I did also see that's going to be a stalemate, because they're not going to see things your way, the left per se, but these people that have this argument, they're not going to see things your way. And I think in short, I mean, you can break it down more, but I think in all, what it really comes down to is they're projecting. People are projecting. They don't want to. One, they could be the toxic people that we encounter, and then they bring that unconsciously onto social media. But they're not tough enough. They can't deal with it. And when you have a platform, for one, if you just can't deal, you have a low how do you call it? A low tolerance for what's the word? Frustration tolerance. And then you're dealing with people that anonymously would just take shots at you, then it's going to be it is going to be a tough thing for you. Now I can there's strategies, there's ways around that, but some people just don't want to do it. There's various reasons. It could be mental toughness, but it could also be, in some cases, where people want to defend their position or their status, what have you. So in some specific cases, but that's essentially my argument in regards to social media being unhealthy. Just not true. Now I have another presentation that I want to make, but I'm going to leave that for another time. I just wanted to use this example, that's what's been going on with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, and I can even jump from that situation, because my thing is, I never follow Keeping Up with the Kardashians, even celebrity culture. I just started getting into celebrity culture after maybe the past 4 or 5 years. So I don't really know Kim Kardashian as a person, but this is, and she does seem like an intelligent person, but I think this is something, genuinely, I don't have to pick sides per se, but this is something where she's kind of fallen short on. and as a mother, she's falling short on this. And again, the science is there. So, that's that. And that's not to say that, a young lady cannot have social media, but 8 years old, that's really young, So that's that. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to share? I believe that's everything. Yep, that is. Let me just check my tabs. Yeah, that's everything. Just wanted to break that down. Thought that conversation laid everything out. We have a great tool, but I guess it's just going to have to be something where the few that, are strong enough, it's just going to be us out there on, making the best out of social media. Or at least using it to its fullest potential. Well, that's all for right now. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.